Old-timers used to say that Sedgwick-Woolley's economy in the first half of the 20th century sat on a four-legged stool. The first leg was the logging industry, the second was agriculture, the third was Skagit Steel, and the fourth was Northern State Hospital, 4 miles northeast of town. In the first decade of this century, Washington State had 2 hospitals for the criminally insane, one at Fort Steilacoom near the state capitol, and another at Medical Lake in Spokane County. Sedgwick-Woolley had just recovered from the financial panic of 1893, and the more visionary citizens realized that they needed to diversify the town's industry base. On May 27, 1912, the site opened with an administration building and a scattering of wards, and was eventually named Northern State Hospital. Originally planned as a farm colony, it eventually spread out over 1,200 acres and was known for its humane practices during times when similar state institutions were described as snake pits. The permanent buildings were designed in the Spanish Revival style and were the most striking in the county when the campus was completed in the 1930s. Patients received valuable vocational training on the farm, dairy, printing plant, greenhouse, and other branches that made the hospital largely self-sufficient. The campus acreage has always been recognized as one of the most beautiful hospital sites in the country. In a 1912 letter to the State Board of Control, A.H. McLeish, the initial superintendent at Northern Hospital for the Insane, noted that the hospital then housed 113 patients, 101 of whom arrived in 1910-11, when this location was still a branch of Western Steilacoom. McLeish's annual salary was $4,000. The other MD made $2,500, the cook made $900, and attendants made either $480 or $600. The construction superintendent, J.B. Warwick, was paid $2,400 annually, and his skilled laborers made $3 per day, a good wage back then. McLeish noted that the death ratio of less than 3% of the patients annually was very low. The initial patients were all male, and occupational therapy was a high priority. Many patients worked at tasks of, quote, gardening to slashing, making posts, shingle bolts, etc. In fact, all kinds of labor connected with the clearing up of the place. And it is evident from the appearance of the men that this outdoor life is conducive to good health, end quote. The report noted that the temporary buildings blew down in a January 1911 storm. They were immediately rebuilt, and by November 1912, these additional buildings were constructed. 4 one-story cottages, a kitchen bakery, concrete horse barn, machine shop, administration building, and a combination chapel, morgue, and crematory. McLeish asked for 4 more cottages and reported that the fenestra steel windows were much more satisfactory than ones with steel bars. His concern for the patients was evident, as he also requested $30,000 for a permanent kitchen bakery and refrigerated storage for fresh food until the farm and dairy could produce enough on their own.